This morning, 30-year-old Corey Ramos of Bridgeport, whose long record includes numerous domestic violence convictions, had his bond raised in his murder case to $1.5 million. And the family of the victim says years of abuse by Ramos led to her murder. Police say Corey Ramos admitted to murdering his estranged girlfriend, Jennifer Brailsford, during an afternoon of arguing in her Bridgeport apartment last Sunday, the 18th.
Cause of death from the medical examiner's office was a combination of a laceration to her neck that cut off her blood supply and airflow, and she also had a pocketbook that was wrapped tightly around her neck.
And it took police just a day to track down the man they suspected all along.
You know, in situations where there's domestic violence history, we always look to the spouse, the boyfriend, the husband first.
According to the arrest warrant affidavit, Ramos, with 2 protective orders in place preventing him from contacting Brailsford, told police the deadly encounter occurred when Jennifer allegedly opened the apartment door to scream to neighbors for assistance in an attempt to get him arrested for violating the orders.
We had information early on that Ramos might be fleeing to Vermont.
The Canadian Border Patrol took Ramos into custody at the Vermont border last Monday. He was extradited to Bridgeport on Friday. Jennifer Brailsford's mother told Fox 61 she feared this might occur for the entire 8 years they dated. In Bridgeport, Tony Terzi, Fox 61 News.